Hey guys, Max here for IGN. I'm with John and Erling from Funcom, and they're showing off LEGO Minifigures Online, which is a LEGO MMO.
It is.
Tell us a little bit about this. What's going
Absolutely.
on here?
Yeah, so it's LEGO Minifigures Online. It's a game for LEGO fans of all ages where they get to play online in a persistent world and they get to collect these awesome minifigures, each with their own personalities and abilities, and they get to explore like classic LEGO worlds such as Pirate World and Space World and Medieval World, but also some new stuff like this one, which is Mythology World, which is like a theme that the team at Funcom have developed themselves. Yeah.
And amazingly, there hasn't ever really been there hasn't really been much like LEGO mythology really. They've never done like ancient Greece, have they?
No, I don't think they have. Well, I know they don't.
And
Because this is sort of something we came up with.
If they did, there probably wouldn't be a spaceman and a hot dog there together.
True, but that is sort of that is something that's very cool about Lego and minifigures is the mixing and matching of stuff.
Now, so like to back this up, the minifigure series is great because it is totally just kind of it's just a bunch of fun like characters, and they're not even characters; they're just kind of roles. They're like costumes basically.
Indeed.
But you've got various spacemen, you've got hot dogs. Who have you got there?
We got the Galaxy Patrol and the Alien Avenger. No,
Okay.
sorry, the Alien Trooper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how does it work in terms of picking characters? Are you basically are you stuck with specific minifigures, or is it like a full character customization type thing, or how does it work?
You collect a ton of minifigures in the game by just playing, pretty much. Like in the game now, we have more than 100 playable minifigures. When you start the game, you start by picking one minifigure, and then as you progress through, you get more and more minifigures by playing in the game, going into small little instances, doing story missions, achievements, all kinds of content. And then you choose your team of 3 minifigures, as you can see in the top left there, which is a combination of minifigures with different abilities.
Okay, and can you kind of swap between them on the fly?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it's not entirely dissimilar from the TT Games LEGO series, where you kind of have your select guys who are on screen, and you're kind of swap between characters like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are your objectives here? You got to fight skeletons in the underworld.
Yeah, no, so right now we're in Mythology World and we're in a dungeon called the Underworld, and basically this is sort of the home of Hades. So we're working our way to Hades, which is the boss battle at the end of this dungeon.
Okay.
So the world is absolutely huge. There's all of these areas to explore, like Pirate World and Space World and all of these things. And each world is based on, or is built up on, huge outdoor areas as well as dungeons and pocket adventures.
Okay, and obviously it's an MMO, so there's a certain amount of character interaction. But
Absolutely.
as can be kind of as people know, it's difficult to do kid-friendly stuff online. How are you guys tackling that?
Yeah, that's something that's been very important for us. So we work very closely with LEGO on nailing that down. Making a game that is safe and fun for kids to play and secure for kids to play. So we have multiple different measures in the game to make that a safe experience, like, for instance, real-time moderated chat and name generators and stuff like that. And we've, of course, worked closely with LEGO to make sure the content is, in line with the LEGO feel, the LEGO brand, and of course, with the younger gamers in mind. So the game is kid-safe certified and COPA compliant.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Now, and also this minifigures. I'm interested because you've got a lot of stuff kind of scattered around the level, but it's noticeably less construction heavy than other LEGO games.
It is. This game is about exploring. It's about building your team of minifigures, collecting the minifigures as you explore the story and the worlds, and playing with other people and grouping up and being social and having fun. That is the core focus of this game. The building is not in the driving seat in this game, basically. But you do have some building elements. For instance, now that we ran into this dungeon, this boss encounter with Hades.
And Cerberus, that's awesome.
Exactly, the 3-headed dog of the underworld. We have these buildings on the sides that you see here. And we can put these together. Okay, my sea captain is actually not very creative, so he's a very slow builder. John, do you have a good builder?
I'm not sure. I think maybe the hot dog guy is a good builder. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Okay, good.
There we go.
So we're building that, and by building that, we basically get an advantage in the boss battle here.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, right now we got like Zeus's lightning buff. As you see, sap the boss area every once in a while. And what we try to do is in every one of these boss fights we give these abilities. So now you see all these skeletons. If I would have had the buff right now, I would have sapped all of these skeletons.
And now I switched to the barbarian because he's like perfect in this
Nice.
encounter here. He has this whirlwind attack with his sword, so it's perfect for when you have groups of enemies like this.
What does the hot dog guy do for attacks?
He rolls around. Now I just lost him actually. I've just taken too much damage to my
Killed hot dog
Yeah.
guy.
He doesn't get killed. He'll
No
be
one
back.
gets
Nobody
no one
gets
gets killed
killed, it's
here.
Lego,
No,
yeah.
they get smashed and then they come back.
Yeah, I mean, you're still a barbarian, like, fighting skeletons in the underworld, but it's Lego, so it's
a
cute.
nice barbarian.
Now, Lego's, I mean, they're a most beloved toy brand in the world, essentially, and they keep tight control of kind of their brand identity. How has it been working with them in terms of like creative freedom?
Well, I mean, we've been working very closely with their design team on the minifigures branch of Lego, of course, and their digital team. They've given us a lot of freedom, but of course, I mean, Lego are working. They are working, with brand guidelines that we need to follow, and we need to make sure that everything is exactly in line with how they would make the models, and how, I mean, if we introduce like a new monster, for instance, in this case, with Cerberus, we need to make sure that the design of that monster is in line with how they would have designed that model if they were to
Gotcha.
make it
It
physically.
doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't just look like a realistic three-headed dog would be
Exactly.
a weird way of putting it. But yeah. So how does leveling up work? I mean, you guys have experience making kind of more adult MMOs, and this is more kid-friendly.
Yeah, we do have levels in the game. The level is mostly just used to make sure that the player doesn't go through the content too quickly. What we've seen with kids is if they encounter a monster or anything like that is too hard, they feel it's more like they're doing something wrong. They don't really understand that the content is harder than it should be. So, but just playing the game, you level up normally, and you progress through the content like that. We also have minifigure upgrades, like passive trees from similar MMOs like World of Warcraft or Diablo.
Okay.
But they're all very simple. We like to keep it like the entry level is very low. Like there's no wrong options or optimal way to upgrade your characters. Everything should be a good option.
I'm gonna skip to a creative minifigure, so I can build this thing.
Okay.
And well, I need to.
Are there different classes that kind of affect how?
Yeah, we have 3 classes, like the holy trinity of MMOs, pretty much. But we don't use it as strongly as those MMOs, because
Okay.
again, we want all of our younger players to be able to play the game and play whatever minifigure they like, right?
Yeah.
There shouldn't be like, oh, I need one of these, one of that, and to create my full team of 3 people. We have like the striker, defender, and builder type minifigures, as we said earlier, like
Yeah.
building the buildy. You require a builder to do it quicker, but I mean, everyone can do it. And all defenders should be able to attack, and all attackers should be able to defend, right? But it's just the abilities of the characters are a bit more specialized in that direction.
Okay. Now I've got can you basically kind of adjust your party at any point in the game?
Yeah.
You can. You
Okay.
can just click here, basically, and this is the collection of minifigures that I have. Of course, I've cheated a little,
Uh-huh.
so I have them all.
You know a guy who works at the video game company.
I do, indeed.
Now, I've got to ask, do you have the Hawaiian shirt guy?
We don't have the Hawaiian shirt guy, no.
Okay, you got a cute robot though, and a piggy man.
Piggy Man is very cool.
I love this bizarre sort of mix and match approach.
That's the beauty of it.
Obviously, Lego minifigures they're on like series 13 at this point, with 14 kind of on the way. Is there going to be integration of real life toys with in-game items?
Basically, the really cool thing about this game is that you can basically go out in stores and buy the Lego minifigure bags, the collectible bags, which is a huge thing in the Lego community. I mean, they sell millions of those bags every year, the Lego. And inside those bags, there's a code, and you use that code to essentially unlock that same minifigure that you just got in the bag, and you can play that minifigure in the game.
Beautiful.
So it's like a one-to-one tie in there. So it's really cool.
Okay. Now this is out on PC, and what else?
Well, it is out on PC, and it's also playable on Mac and Linux and iOS and select Android devices. And the really cool thing about this is that no matter what platform you're playing on, you're always playing in the same online world as everyone else. So I could be playing it on my high-power PC, and you could be sitting on a bus playing on your iPhone or your Android tablet, and we could be playing in the same world, doing the same things. basically grouping up. So that's a big thing for us, of course.
Do you have any plans to try and bring it to consoles?
Right now, our focus is on these platforms right here. But yeah, you never know what's gonna happen. But right now, this is our focus.
Okay. And what's the it is not free to play. It is a paid model.
It is a paid model, absolutely. So even though it's an online game, there's no subscription or membership. So you
Okay.
on PC and Mac, you basically buy for $30 and you get everything. That's it. That's all you have to do. And then on iOS and Android, you pay $5 to get the first world, and then you buy the other worlds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean you've got a nice kind of microtransaction model, so to speak, in the sense that there's physical toys out there in the world for people to, pick up, and that'll unlock
Absolutely.
in-game content. That's I don't feel. Oh,
Here
look
we
at
got-
that.
Here we got a minifigure.
Look at
actually,
that.
Yeah.
Mr. Good and Evil.
Indeed.
Shadow build.
He's actually very good. Yeah, he's a very good creative guy. So he can build very quickly if we equip him.
Now, are you going to
Let's go to the Lego Center.
add any characters or minifigures who don't exist in toy form? Are you being given that freedom, or is it pretty much just based on what the existing toy line looks like?
Yeah, only the characters from the Lego minifigures branch.
Okay.
So no mix and matching or anything like that. No.
No, I mean we're sort of focusing on the classic Lego stuff.
Mm.
So, for instance, when you go to Pirate World, you find all the classic Lego stuff there, like those pirate ships with the red and white sails that I really
wow.
wanted when I was a kid.
Can we check that out?
We can check that
I
out.
would love to see that.
Let's head over to Pirate World. So this is actually the hub in the game. We can just jump back for a second there.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Okay,
Jumpies!
that just got me. Is the toy boxes in the background?
Yeah, so this is actually set in the Lego store, and it's the social hub of the game. So this is where all players sort of gather after they've been going on adventures in the different worlds. So there's different players here right now, just sort of showing off their abilities and everything. And players loves to meet here. They love to meet here and just show off the minifigures that they've collected, and show off their abilities and so on.
Oh wow. Are there any kind of minifigures in the game that are super rare? So it's like a really kind of like the chance for more experienced players to show off.
Yeah, like when we at the end of the game, we have this instance called Lost Creations, which is kind of like an endless or infinite dungeon where the difficulty scales up the further you get in there. And by getting further in there, you also ramp up the loot tiers. So, for instance, Mr. Gold, which is the rarest minifigure ever created in the physical sets, he is, of course, the highest tiered loot drop in there as well. So, when you're running around and you have a Mr. Gold, people will recognize it and go crazy pretty much.
Oh man, and you've got the.
This is the judge.
Imperial Guard. Oh.
It's cool. Brings back memories, don't it?
Oh yeah, totally. You really throw the book at him. Oh, this is gorgeous.
It looks really beautiful, and we've been working with Intel on sort of optimizing some of the graphical features of the game on hardware that they're using on some of their devices. So we've been adding a ton of stuff, and what's really cool is that we haven't really been downgrading the game because we're on iOS and Android. It looks really, really beautiful on all of these different devices, and we're using our proprietary engine, Dreamworld technology, that we've been developing at Funcom over several years. Doing
Cool.
games like Age of Conan and The Secret World,
Right.
and so having brought that now to mobile platforms is really exciting to us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it also helps that like Lego is so kind of iconic, in that. I mean, the overall visual fidelity of Lego games, it's never gonna be like photorealistic exactly. It's kind of
You
it's
don't
not
want
really,
it to be.
It's not really the point. Yeah, they're
No.
toys. They're kind of. Oh, these monkeys are awesome.
And
I mean, they're mean, but they're awesome.
yeah. Well, and that's sort of like a theme that we have in the game, is that like no one is really evil or mean.
Yeah.
Or, like they're just misunderstood.
It's a
like,
video game. Sometimes you have to fight skeletons and monkeys. It's
exactly.
just a reality.
Like when we were fighting Hades earlier, the reason why we're actually fighting him is because that he Zeus, like the god of gods, he's sort of like a party god, and he throws his barbecues. And Hades, he went to these barbecues, but he created a lot of ruckus, so he was thrown out. And he really wants to come back in and join the barbecue
That's
parties.
cute. I like that. Now I saw you picked up a torso a minute ago. Is there any kind of character customization or like custom minifig stuff you can do?
Yeah, well, you don't customize them, but there's basically several different ways of collecting minifigures. You can find them in the story. You get them through various stages in the story, and you can also find parts of minifigures, so like legs and torsos and heads. And when you have all three parts, you can assemble it into that minifigure.
All right. Is there anything else you want to show us?
I think that was a nice little cut of it. I think
that's a pretty good cut. And there's plenty more where that came from.
Absolutely.
And this is available now on
PC, Mac, and iOS, and select Android devices, and even Linux. Yeah.
Cool. And it's $30 on computers and $5 to start on mobile, basically.
Exactly. That's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for chatting, and
Thank
for
you.
all your many LEGO games. Keep it right here on IGN.